Dutch woodworker, a shop here in town. And although farmers had been carving their own corncob pipes for years, one of the local farmers, the legend has it, brought some corn cobs into Henry Timmy and asked him if he would turn those pipes for him on the lathe, turn the cobs on his lathe to make the pipes. And Henry did that. The guy was very happy. He turned a few extra for himself, put them in the window of his shop, and before you know it, he was selling more corncob pipes than dining with furniture or with spoons, and H. Tibby and Son was born. Henry Tibby had a son, Anton, a very dapper gentleman, who at the age of 19 joined his father in the company business. Anton was a real mover and a shaker, and Anton saw here at the factory that we were not using electric, and he wanted electric to power the factory. So he opened an electric company and powered the factory with electric. And okay, folks, come on in. We're just getting started. So I was telling them that Henry Tibby's son, Anton, had opened the first power plant here in Washington. And on his birthday, which was December 31st in 1892, he actually turned on the lights in Washington on New Year's Eve. And Washington had electricity. Now, Anton was a very interesting gentleman because he not only opened one power company, sold that one to what's now Ameren, did not sign a non-compete clause, and then opened another one. And did the same. And then opened another one. And actually, the building for the third of Anton Tibby's power companies is the next building down. That and the center section of the building here presented the same architect that did the design for Union Station in St. Louis. When you came in, you were in the original part of the building, built in 1883. It's actually the third location for the corncob pipe business. And then we added on to the building about 5 times over the years, with the youngest section being over 100 years old. It was built specifically for the manufacture of corncob pipes and has been used for nothing else. It's been in continuous operation since it was built in 1883. One thing you'll notice as we're going through the factory, and this particular room doesn't have, but some of the windows got left. You can kind of tell where the additions were added, particularly if you go outside and look at the building, you can see the different color brick. But as we go through the factory, you'll see windows that have been bricked over. And that's where it was originally an outside wall, and now it's an inside wall. We've got approximately 31 employees. That includes us office folks. And we make 3,000 to 5,000 pipes a day. Back in its heyday of smoking in the 40s and 50s, we were one of the largest employers in Washington and had production going on all 3 floors of the factory. As smoking has kind of fallen out of fashion, now all the production is done here on the lower floor, and the second floor is the offices, the museum, and storage. But today we've got some special things on the second floor for you all to see. Let's see. I'm sorry, I've done this several times. I figure out where we're at. Okay, so we make 3,000 to 5,000 pipes a day, and one thing you'll notice as we're going through the factory is how much of the work is done by hand. And that is, it amazes me. And the pipes will sell for $3 to $5, all the way up to $7. So for the amount of handwork that goes into it, they are a real bargain. All the components of all of our pipes are U.S. made products, with the exception of the acrylic bits, and those come from Italy. We beg U.S. manufacturers to make the acrylic for us, they just won't do it. So those are imported. The rest of it is all U.S. So if you wanted a product that was absolutely 100% U.S. made, this is it. Hi, John. John's our production supervisor. He's taking the magic happen every day.
Every day. And twice on Saturday.
Oh, where you can. We do work 5 days a week, all year long, and I know today's Saturday, but we told them we had to, so they're here. We do sell to all 50 states and probably up to like 80 or 90 foreign countries. We sell to wholesale businesses, we sell to mom and pop places, we sell to individuals. You'll notice around the room, all the boxes with the names on them, those are actually full of pipes going to wholesale customers in Germany, Indonesia, Spain, Canada, China, Denmark. There are very few places in the world that don't actually have our corncob pipes. I've had people say, oh, I was in Germany and I went into a shop and there was a corncob pipe, and when I turned it over, it said Washington, Missouri on the bottom. They were sold last time. Very first commercially produced corncob pipes, and now we're the last. So we must be doing something right. I think a lot of it has to do with our distribution. At one point in time, we were the first. And Henry Timmy, our founder, patented the process for applying the plastic to the outside of the molds. And when our patent ran out, there were 10 to 12 factories that sprung up in the area. And over the years, as things have gone, they all went out of business or we bought them. And now we are the very last ones. I think we've got a pretty good distribution process. Obviously, we're sending to all these different countries. Do you have any questions? Kind of waiting for these folks to get done and back there in production. When we go into the production area, we'll go all the way to the back of the room and then work our way forward. You're welcome to take photographs or video if you'd like. We just have to keep going, otherwise the next group will go. Oh, how did it keep from burning out? Well, I didn't tell you about it before. Thank you for reminding me. You'll notice as we go back through that the cobs you're going to see don't look like what you have on your dinner plate. At one time, Washington was a great place to have all these corncob pipe factories because of all the fields across the river. There was a lot of corn production that happened. And back in those days, it was fine to just use the cobs that the farmers were taking their corn off of. But modern harvest methods have changed, and now the cob is separated from the corn in the field. So the cobs have been bred down to be little and skinny and soft, which does us absolutely no good. So we have a special breed of seed that was developed for us by the University of Missouri to produce a big, tough cob. And we, after harvest, we do grow our own. We grow our own cobs on about 150 acres across the 2.5 years. We also have a little plot of some fields there by the airport that we grow our own cobs. And then some cribs that are right across from the airport after they're picked in the ear in the fields. Then they go over to those cribs and we spend all winter shelling the corn off the cob with a walnut hull, modified walnut hull. And what happens to the corn? Well, corn is a byproduct for us because we're much more interested in the cob. But the corn is a white food grade corn, so it's sold animal feed and corn tortillas. And because it is only crossbred and not genetically modified, Pinckney Dib buys a lot of corn from us, and they make a very fine pipe corn whiskey if you get up in the direction of New Haven. So after the cobs are separated from the corn, the cobs come back over here to our factory, and they go up on the third floor of the building to dry in big piles for 2 to 3 years. And that's what makes them very hard, like wood, and that's why they don't burn out. So I know you would think they would burn through, but they do get very, very hard. They also have a very thick woody ring, which helps with the non-burning out process. Plaster of Paris. No, nothing is applied on the inside. It's only on the outside of the house. So let's go see how that's done. If you would, The little yellow cards you're given, just put them in this green tub right here. They don't have our name on them, so they don't make a very good souvenir. And we'll go all the way to the back of the room.
You guys let me know if you can hear everything.
Alrighty folks, this is where the magic starts, well, other than the field. On the third floor where cops dry for 2 to 3 years, you gotta get them down here somehow. These silver chutes right behind you are where the cops come all the way down from the third floor, and they're sawed by hand. Well, there's the machine that's right there that the cops are placed on the saw, and they're sawed into sections. It's really, really loud, so normally John does that job too, but we've got him working on something else today. After the cops are sawed into sections, then the tobacco hole is drilled next. But there's a thing that happens after that is on the spindle, so you gotta have something to stick it on to rotate. John is operating the tobacco hole stem or tobacco hole borer. It's kind of loud, so we're just going to tell you about it. You'll notice that he's putting all these cops in there by hand. You're welcome to come on down and take a look. Once the tobacco hole is bored, then the cob is shaped. Some of the cobs, like this one, go through a cutter head. They go on a turning machine, and a cutter head will actually rotate around the cob and make it the shape that you're wanting it to be. Other types are turned by hand on the lathe, which we'll see when we get a little further down the road. Once the cob is shaped, that's the thing for the tobacco roll. They come over here, and unfortunately, our guy that does the filling is out right now. When they come in, these are actually something a little dye has been applied to. But then there's by hand, they apply plaster to the outside of the column. So this it up with his hand, gets on the spindle turning, and he applies the plaster to the outside of the column. Then it dries for 2 to 3 days and goes to the next step that we call white cow. Right over here, he's Craig working on it. Craig's been with us for over 30 years. Really good. So after it's dried and Craig gets it, it looks like this, with the plaster on the outside of the bowl. And when Craig gets done with it, it's beautiful and smooth like this. Most of our cobs actually go back and see the second fill, so you go back and the second plaster is applied here, and then he sands them down again like this. Some of our pipes have a wood plug in the bottom, so So actually scroll the grill. And right in here is the line close. A little bit of, take a little bit of glue. Take a little bit of glue and brush it on the inside of that hole. And then a hardwood plug or birch, and they come from the northeast United States. Puts it in there, and then the hardwood plug is just have it normal.
How you guys doing today?
Good, you?
Wish I was off.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'm getting paid for it, so it's all good.
Okay.
Just like Michelangelo, who didn't know what was going to come out of the water for him. We'll make different types. And sometimes Josh doesn't know it till he gets going. That's what he's going to end up with.
It's hand shaping of the cobs.
I'm ready. Let's go see what happens next.
Feel free to take anything up if you want to feel it.
awesome, man. That's awesome work, turning them out good.
While you're coming into this room, I want you to take a little note of these crates over here. These are over 100 years old, and we use them all today. They're trying to stockpile people back in the production area. They fill them up, and then they bring them in here, and then the ladies work their magic. So you'll notice as we're going around the room that there's a lot of
These are the bone tenon pipes that were limited edition. Good to know there's more.
safety is central connector. A little bit of white glue goes on the stem, and then each one, by hand, goes into the mold. That pipe sells for $5. Every label on every bowl is applied by hand, which is why you don't see a cookie cutter situation. I had the lady ask, why don't you do this in a more automated fashion? Well, the tops are all different. And automated doesn't necessarily work unless you have something that's all the same. The white glue that we're using to apply the stems into the bowls is a white food grade glue similar to Elmer's. Elmer's doesn't come in a 5-gallon pail, so it's not made in rain. Tony has put together our bamboo stem pipes. This is the Shenandoah model. And as you can imagine, when you're drilling a hole into something rough like a corn cob, it doesn't necessarily always come out nice and smooth and even. So a little bit of patch is applied around that stem to make it nice and smooth and seal all the holes. Also doing the same thing. When she gets done, you can't rub it off that there's ever any rub. Mackenzie is also packaged. She's patching a slightly different kind than he is. Her patch is a little bit different color. We do try to match the patch to the color of the bowls, which makes them even more invisible. I think Nicole's on break, but we've got her, she's labeling. Each bowl gets labeled by hand. All of our pipes have a little black metal ring on them. We call them ferrules. Every pipe, and all of those pipes, the ferrule is applied by hand. Oh, these are 3 tappers. Arguably, our most famous and easily recognizable pipe smoker was General Douglas MacArthur. And we do still make a MacArthur style pipe today. I had a World War II veteran tell me, and I found with World War II veterans, they either really liked him or they really didn't. There was no gray area with Douglas MacArthur. But evidently, what they told me was when he was promoted to the big dog general, he wanted to trademark something that he could, be easily recognizable with. And he wanted to use the long cigarette holder. But Roosevelt said, "Nuh-uh, that one's mine, get your own." Well, General MacArthur already smoked a corncob pipe, known as a jewel, which we don't make anymore, but it's a cool pipe. And so he decided to supersize the bowl to make his trademark style. He had an aide that was from Union who knew about us, and so he brought the general here to us to make that pipe. And Douglas MacArthur himself ended up designing the pipe. It's based on one of our old grandpa models. And we built it to his specifications and shipped it to him all over the world. When he got fired by Truman, we sold a lot of MacArthur corncob pipes. His originally had a bamboo shank, and we did make the pipes for the movie Emperor. They were period correct, and my general manager at the time said that Douglas MacArthur must have had a jaw of iron because it was really hard to grip that bamboo shank in his teeth. So that it's interesting. Admiral Byrd smoked corncob pipes down at the South Pole. Eisenhower was a pipe smoker. There was a lot of famous pipe smokers. Mark Twain absolutely loved them. So let's go up on the second floor. There's a lot of interesting things up there as well.
What do you want? Oh, the other thing. The other thing. Yeah, right here. Well, you got a big load. You got a big load going.
Oh yeah, got a lot to carry around today.
I guess if you were on the boss's good side, you got that side for your workstation, otherwise it was a brick wall. So after sometimes the pipes that, or the cobs that come down the chute and go to the saws are not the right size for the models we need to make at that moment. So they come up here and they're just stored in, they're the cut cobs just stored in piles. We used to, this thing with the wood down here was a belt-driven elevator that went through all 3 floors of the factory. We used that every day up until about 2-3 years ago. And it decided it was done, and there is nobody that repairs those kind of elevators anymore. This is the elevator. Very. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anyone smoking in the
This is
building.
the second floor. There is still a floor above us that's where the piles of the raw cobs are stored. These are still raw, but they've been cut into sections. So the whole cobs are on the dirt. Yeah. This floor is fast fascinating to me. A lot of it is original, and you notice the cool way they attach the floors with pieces of tin.
So are these ready to use?
These are ready to go back down to be shaped and used. We just didn't need that particular size. I think those are for miniatures, is what my plant manager told me.
How do they get to the bottom? Because you don't use the
We
elevator.
can't use that elevator. We've got a lift
Gotcha.
that's in the other room here, and so a lot of it is done with the lift.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a lot less convenient than it used to be. The cobs that you're, or the corn stalks that you're seeing attached to all these posts, my farm manager brought over. They are actually from our farm, and some of them do have cobs hanging off them. There's a pretty good one on that one there behind you, hanging. And these are some of the smaller ones. We've got a steam heater, and we do use these radiators all winter long. They do work, they do get hot.
No, she hasn't said that yet. Katie's filming the 360 so you guys can get a better look at things later. Got a podcast recording, guys.
Of farming operations and the great garden type shows with the podcast. Anyone wants to say hey? Pop over and say hi. This room in particular, you can really see where the windows used to be. This was the first edition that we're facing here. And you can really see where the old windows used to be that were bricked up when they added the next edition. In this room over here, and you're free to look where however you want. In this room over here, we've got the Skillet Fork Pipe Museum. Has got a fabulous exhibit on pipes from the corncob pipe industry back in the day. We also have the Great Woody podcast on the other side of the room, and the Throne of Cobs for photo ops. Really want to thank you all for coming today. We wouldn't be in a business for 155 years if it wasn't for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and after you've looked around here, you
Now check out
close that door with the wood.
Don't worry about it. I'm with you. I'm old school.
It was a German, I think it was a town in Germany too, wasn't it?
There is a distance in there.
We actually, you know, do you care if I take your photo?
No, no.
I'm gonna back up and take
If your phone
picture.
can handle it.
There's a
we have a German guest coming in mid-October. And so we got him the 100% anniversary pipe thinking that would be a cool thing to take back. This is even cooler to see this because there's a little town real close. We're what's the name of the town? Morgelhausen. And Detmold is real close to that. Dissen is real close to that. Yeah, but I don't know about this.
Did they tell you on the tour how Henry City ended up here based on the weird little town? So, this little town in Holland, the king came to visit, and they had a party because they were a little town. The king was coming, the big deal. The party got so out of control that a fire razed the entire town yesterday. So, yeah, I must have been a heck of a party when the king showed up.
He said that the town burned.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Literally gone.
I missed that.
Yeah, that's how
There's
come
actually,
here.
when you get down to the end, there was a New Haven pipe company. And the only proof of their existence are two letters that we have that we found a year apart, but they're dated within weeks of each other. I can't find any information. Like, we have some historical reference that the company existed. There's some letters down there. Yeah, New Haven.
So we're
We're in Southern Illinois about 2.5 hours straight to Mississippi.
Yeah.
We're not that far. You know where Salem is? Yeah. Or Mount Vernon?
Yeah, Mount Vernon.
We're probably about 40 minutes kind of northeast.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Skip Court is a real oddball.
Cigarettes from my mom
Side of the river.
with a note. She would write a note.
I was able to do that for
On his work break.
You're nice.
You're interested if you like to stop, right? Well, just to, we would have to do that
Ron Burgundy?
We got here, we found out that it was there's a Chinese.
These are not for sale. He's looking for one that actually
I
has
just joke all the way
have any that are good for sale. Great sale.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
And they're
I like that mushroom one actually a lot. That was a cool shape. They look to be, yeah.
What's the name of this black?
That's the Ocon by Phoenix. There's an insert inside of that.
Check out this one.
Screws off, there's a pop insert in there. Smoke goes down, around, it comes back out.
Wow. Pretty cool. Who made that?
Phoenix America.
Phoenix? Oh.
So that's not made anymore.
No. These are the only examples that we've seen.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about. I want her to make it. That's gonna make it kind of weird. That's that shape.
Okay.
I need to get
Yes, this is no, this is our personally collection. We had to set up.
Those are letters from the New Haven Pipe Company to
I have no idea. Well, I need
people looking for corn cobs. They couldn't find them in that bottom letter. And the one up above is a
I need to show that this
typed
is
out
yours,
letter for
and I want to show it.
demand for more pipes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta make sure I get it.
Sorry, I'm trying to answer questions. You want to say hi to YouTube?
Sure.
You're live.
Hi, I'm Michael F. Lechtenberg. I'm one of the owners of this company, Missouri Meerschaum Corn Cob Pipe. I used to travel all over the world for them and sell the product. Met lots of interesting people, saw lots of country, and was very thankful for being able to sell that product. I really enjoyed this.
And we enjoy every bit of it. That's why we're here.
Thank you. Enjoy yourself.
And it was good hanging out with you last night too.
You bet.
Hope we get to do it again tonight.
Okay, I'll be here.
We'll be here.
Good.
How's your Oktoberfest going with your family and your daughter? Or have you not heard from them? They've been too busy.
Haven't heard from them.
Let me see.
Did you see this one?
All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go, and we'll try and do a live later, I think, or maybe just a video.